Hi guys, welcome to my YouTube channel. So today I'll be talking about endometriosis and adenomyosis. I'm not really sure if that's how you say it. I've been told a few different ways. But basically this video is just going to be about my symptoms and my pain and pain management. I always like to ask women around me what symptoms they have and whatnot, just to make sure you're getting checked, because it can cause infertility. It's not 100% that it will cause infertility, but it can. So it's always better to check now than not. So basically, I'll start from the beginning. So I was diagnosed with endometriosis when I was 21. I had a lot of pain during my periods, and I had a doctor telling me that it could possibly be endo, but they didn't want to do any surgeries at my age. The surgery that you do have to check if you do have endo is called a laparoscopy. This is where they do they cut 4 little incisions, or maybe 2. It's really up to your surgeon, on your belly, and then they go in with a camera and either cut it out or burn it out if they do find any. But basically, my doctor didn't want me to do anything, so she just let me go. And I do recall a week after, I was in excruciating pain, like you would not believe. So I went to emergency. I called my cousin, got her to bring me straight to emergency. And I was living in Sydney, New South Wales at the time, in Australia. So she brought me to the hospital, and I went straight into the emergency department because I couldn't stand this. The pains that I was feeling in my belly were next level. It was just excruciating, stabbing pain. It felt like my insides were being ripped apart. So basically the doctors brought me in, and then a surgeon that worked at a gynecologist that worked at the hospital came in, and she basically just diagnosed me with endometriosis and decided I needed surgery the next day, just to make sure there wasn't any cysts or anything that needed to be removed, which on that day they made me get an x-ray of my belly, and they had to do an internal x-ray, which I'm sure if you have been there, done that, it is not pleasant at all. So basically, yeah, I had to get an x-ray, and they did find a cyst. And so the next day when I went into surgery, went in, came out, you wake up and the pain is undescribable that you're in when they cut you open. And what they like to do is make sure, now I'm not a doctor, but this is what I've heard, is make sure you wake up with no painkillers so they can understand what type of pain you have and how to treat it. So basically I woke up and I was in a lot of pain, so they gave me painkillers. So then they brought me to my room, and the doctor came in, and basically she said, yes, we did find endometriosis. The cyst, however, did burst, which sometimes can be dangerous, sometimes not. But in my case, I was very lucky. It wasn't. But yeah, they removed all the endo that they could, and I ended up with scarring, which I'll put a picture here for you. But, you know, they helped me in the long run. Anyway, to go on, for about 6 months, I had pain relief. I was fine, living my life back to normal. And then I remember going for a jog with my friend, and I had to stop. I was in so much pain, and my friend's going, it's just a stitch, run it off, like you'll be fine. Okay, kept running, and then I got to a point where I was crying, and at this point she didn't know what to do, so brought me to the doctor again. And this time I found another surgeon that was an endo specialist, and I explained to her, look, I'm having pain during sexual intercourse and pain during exercise, and my periods are out of control painful. Now, I didn't have heavy bleeding whatsoever. I'm not a heavy bleeder. Even during this time, I didn't ever have heavy bleeding. So I basically just described my symptoms, which was those 3 times that I had pain. And that was really it. I didn't have anything else. Obviously, I had lower back pain, which I always have, and I have a feeling it's hereditary, but it is also a common symptom of endometriosis. So during my second surgery, I went in, she was fabulous. She burns it all out. Now, I'm not really sure, but there's a difference between burning and cutting the endo out. When you burn it out, I'm not 100% sure, but I believe it gives it a chance to grow back. When you cut it out, that's it, you've cut it out. But however, when you do have your period again, it can shed from your uterus lining and implant. Anyway, so that's how she went about it. She burned it out for me, and then woke up and let me know, look, yep, you did have endo again in a few spots. So obviously that was within a year of it happening, because it took 6 months to get in to have a laparoscopy again. But yeah, that happened. Then cut forward 2 years, I moved back to Adelaide, Australia. I just remember constantly being in pain, constantly having the symptoms again, running, intercourse. I tried to get my lifestyle back on track, where I was eating healthy, I was exercising, I was getting up early, drinking lots of water. And if changing your lifestyle works for you, that's amazing, but I tried it and it did not work for me. And so I went to another surgeon, and she was amazing. First thing I walked in, I said, I've got this, this, and this. Straight away, I booked you in for a laparoscopy. Okay, that's fine. I'm used to it by now. So I went in, and this time it was a bit different. I came out and I saw her 6 weeks later, and she let me know, look, I found endo and I got rid of it. And that's when she told me that she found the adeno, which is the adenomyosis, however you say it, which is basically when the blood sheds your endometrium lining or your uterus lining, and it starts growing on your uterus muscle. So she explained to me, and as I said, I'm not a doctor, she explained to me that to remove adenomyosis, you need to have a hysterectomy. So clearly I want babies, and from my first surgery, that surgeon told me that I wouldn't be able to have kids after 30, which, you know, that's not something you want to hear, especially when you're 21. But yeah, so this lady said, look, go find a man, which I didn't have a man at the time. Go find a man and have 10 babies. You'll be fine after this surgery. So I thought, okay, that's fine. She also did let me know that she found polyps as well, which is very common, but she removed the polyps, got them tested, and they were benign. So everything was fine. So basically, I just met my husband at the time, and it was about a year later, I started having excruciating pain again, and it's back again, and you know, it was just horrible. But I let it go, and I just dealt with it, because I didn't want another surgery. I wanted to have a child before I had a surgery, or try for a child before I had another surgery. And basically what happened was we tried to conceive, and we had a miscarriage at 5 weeks. So we went to see our new surgeon OB, because we had a miscarriage. We thought that was suitable, and he's straight away booked me in for a laparoscopy. I believe it's called a flush, flush. I'm not sure, they may call it something different. So we went ahead with that, and obviously he said to us that would help us conceive better by just clearing everything out. So that's what we did. We went ahead with that. And then we came out of the surgery. I felt a bit better, spoke to him, and he did say, look, you do have endo, you do have adeno, and we'll just go from there. So that was all good and well. Then a month later, had another miscarriage, which we were like, are you kidding me? You know, and that was earlier, that was also 5 weeks. But we just couldn't understand why. And then 3 months later, we got pregnant again. And so straight away I called him. He put me on a progesterone pessary. unfortunately at 10 weeks we lost that baby as well. But basically, having endo does not mean you're infertile. It does not, because we got pregnant like that. But we have been going through struggles, and you might not. But unfortunately, we weren't very lucky. But basically, yes, so I've had endo since I was 21. I've had 4 laparoscopies and a D&C now. My symptoms were just pain during intercourse, pain during exercise, pain during periods, back pain. I didn't have heavy bleeding. The pain, what I can describe to you, is almost like being stabbed 1,000 times every second. It is, yeah, it is unbearable. I also did have a cyst, another cyst that they had to remove as well, which had me crippled on the floor. And, you know, you talk about it all dandy now, but at the time you didn't want to be alive. You didn't want to feel this pain anymore. People may think, oh, it's just endometriosis, it's just period pain, but it is not. It is something that I wish not upon my, you know, biggest enemy. But yeah, so the pain relief that I did use during that time was just Advil. I felt worked the best for me. Advil and Nurofen. Panadol didn't really work. Nuromal worked. My pain relief was just painkillers. And I found that putting a heat pack on my belly made it worse. Putting ice made it so much better. So if you want to give that a go, because that really worked for me. As strange as that sound, I just like to lie on the floor, on the tiles where it was freezing cold. But yeah, just let me know if you have any questions, and I'll be more than happy to help or explain a bit further on anything like my laparoscopies or my endometriosis, and I'll be more than happy to do a video. Okay, bye! Thanks for watching! Hey guys, thanks for watching the video. If you do have any questions, please feel free to comment. If not, please like and subscribe. Also, we are bringing out a baby apparel brand, so if you would like to follow our journey or support us, please click on the links and follow us on Instagram, TikTok and Facebook. Thank you!